Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue seas, fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the island of Sodor.
It was a beautiful summer's day on the island of Sodor. Thomas and Spencer were in the repair shed. Spencer was having his wheels polished till they gleamed, while Thomas was getting a hole in his vacuum pipe repaired.
Why do you always get special treatment? I wish I could get my wheels polished.
I'm a privately owned engine, little Thomas. I'm far above you dirty Sodor engines. This made Thomas very cross. Just then, Sir Topham had arrived. He had very important news for Spencer. The Duke and Duchess of Boxford have arranged a very important afternoon tea party at Great Waterton, he boomed. Spencer, you are to collect them from Knapford Station and have them dropped off at Great Waterton by tea time. Yes, sir. This is a job for a really useful engine, not a very silly one. This made Thomas crosser than ever. But just as Sir Topham Hatt was about to leave, an idea flew into Thomas's funnel.
Excuse me, sir, but who will take the Duke and Duchess back home after the party?
Well, I suppose that would be up to the Duke and Duchess.
If I get my jobs done in time, may I take them back home after the party?
Well, I'll have to speak with the Duke and Duchess, but I think that's a splendid idea, Thomas. Thomas beamed, and with that, Sir Topham Hatt left. Spencer was in shock. Sir Topham Hatt must be off his rocker, he cried.
What's wrong, Spencer? Worried a dirty old Sodor engine may have a chance at collecting the Duke and Duchess?
Of course not, spluttered Spencer. You'll never be able to stay as clean and spotless as I. The Duke and Duchess only ride in the cleanest of engines and the tidiest of coaches. I'd like to see you stay clean all day.
Oh yeah, well, we Sodor engines can be as clean as any engine.
Thomas sniffed and wheeshed away, but secretly, Thomas was worried he wouldn't be able to stay as spick and span as Spencer. Thomas's first job was to collect coal cars at the coaling plant and take them to Crew Station. Emily was there waiting to be filled up with coal. Please be quick, Thomas. I'm to collect the Sodor football team today, and I can't be late, she chirped.
Don't worry, Emily. I'll have my cars filled up in a couple of puffs.
But the troublesome trucks were being extra troublesome. On, they cried, and with all their might, they shoved Thomas under the hopper. Thomas was covered from buffer to buffer in coal dust. Not your best look, Thomas, chuckled Emily. But Thomas was upset.
I can't get any more dirty. I must prove to Spencer that we Sodor engines are really clean ones,
he thought to himself, and quickly steamed out of the coaling plant. Meanwhile, Spencer was collecting the Duke and Duchess from Knapford Station. He was very pleased. Pah, Thomas doesn't stand a chance. Soon Thomas arrived at Crew Station. His freight cars were uncoupled, and he was off to his next job. Thomas's next job was to help Percy take a train of flour to the flour mill. Glad to see you here, Thomas. You're right on time.
Of course, Percy, but we must be careful.
Percy was rather puzzled. It's just flour, Thomas.
Yes, but I'm trying to prove to Spencer that we Sodor engines can be just as clean as any engine, so I'd like to avoid any mishaps.
Well, no worries, Thomas. I'll puff as carefully as I can.
Thank you, Percy.
The two were coupled up to the flour wagons and puffed carefully away. As Thomas and Percy chuffed through the countryside, Percy noticed something up ahead. It was Edward. Edward had brought a group of workmen to the track to remove a fallen telegraph pole. Stop, Thomas! They stopped just in time, but Thomas and Percy were both covered from firebox to cab in flour. I'm sorry, you two. The signalman didn't give us a heads up that you were coming. Oh, that's all right, Edward.
Bother.
Soon the line was cleared, and Thomas and Percy continued on their way to the flour mill. On the other side of the island, Spencer had to stop at Dry House Station. The Duke and Duchess had to sign some very important papers in the station house.
We're running low on coal, Spencer, old boy. We should really fill up.
Spencer thought for a moment. Coal will make me dirty, and the Duke and Duchess would never want to ride in a dirty engine.
No worries, driver. I'll be fine.
Just then, the Duke and Duchess walked out of the station and boarded the train once more.
But Spencer, Zip it.
Eventually, Thomas and Percy arrived at the flour mill. Thomas was uncoupled and steamed away to his last job. Sorry about the mess, Thomas. Thomas's last job was to collect a train of tar wagons and take them to Maithwaite Station. Thank you, Thomas. This tar will be used to fix holes in the road up by the village.
No problem, Bertie. Must stay clean, must stay clean,
he huffed to himself. On his way to Maithwaite Station, he saw James up ahead.
Brakes, driver, now!
Tar shot out of the tankers and spilt all over Thomas. Flatten my funnel, Thomas. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Believe me, I know what a pain tar can be. Soon James's crew managed to build up enough steam to slink him onto a siding out of the way. Workmen will be here soon to mend me. I'm sorry, Thomas. I didn't know you were coming.
It's okay, James.
Thomas wheezed sadly. Now I'm as filthy as ever. It was late in the afternoon by the time Thomas had dropped off the tar wagons. He collected Annie and Clarabelle from the station and quickly huffed away to Great Waterton. Soon Thomas arrived at Great Waterton Station. Thomas had puffed so quickly that coal dust had flown onto Annie and Clarabelle too. The whole train was filthy.
Ha! Told you. Sodor engines are filthy little engines meant for menial work. Next time, you should leave the important work to me.
Just then, the Duke and Duchess walked out of Great Waterton Station.
All right, Spencer. You ready? Yes, sir.
But as Spencer tried to wheeze steam, he found that he couldn't.
What's going on, Spencer? I'm going to miss my aeroplane.
Oh, I knew I should have taken on coal. Now I'm all out.
I have plenty of coal, sir. May I take you two to the airport?
You? Cried Spencer. You're filthy little Thomas. He may be dirty.
But Thomas has been a really useful engine.
And you've been a really silly one.
Spencer was in disgrace. The Duke and Duchess hopped aboard Annie and Clarabelle, and Thomas steamed out of the station.
Dirty or clean, I'm a really useful machine.
Percy has run out of coal. He is sad because he can't go anywhere until another engine arrives with some more. Thomas wants to cheer his friend up. He's going to tell Percy a story. Thomas wants to use things around him in the story. See if you can help him. Thomas asks Percy which engine he wants the story to be about. A fast engine. Thomas sees Toby, Harry, and Gordon. Which is the fastest? That's right. Gordon is a fast engine. Thomas is going to make up a story about Gordon. Once, there was a fast engine called Gordon. One day, he was steaming quickly to... Thomas asked Percy where he'd like Gordon to go. Somewhere exciting. Thomas sees a field, a bus stop, and a poster for the circus. Which is the most exciting? Good work! The circus is the most exciting place. One day, Gordon was puffing quickly to the circus. He was very excited to see... Thomas asked Percy what Gordon should see. Something special! Thomas sees coal cars, milk churns, and the Chinese dragon. Which is the most special? Yes, the Chinese dragon is very special. One day, Gordon steamed quickly to the circus. He was very excited to see the special Chinese dragon. Percy thought it was the best story he'd ever heard. In fact, Percy's going to tell the story to James while he waits for his coal. Well done, Thomas.